welcome to the Hunting Shack with the Struggling Hunters. We have Eric sitting over here to my left.
Hey guys.
And to Eric's right is me, Joe. We appreciate you guys tuning in. If you haven't checked out our YouTube channel, go ahead and we'll go on pause for a second. Thank you for checking out our YouTube channel. We really do appreciate it. But we're working on episode 121 here of the podcast. And if you haven't listened to a previous one, go ahead and backtrack a little bit too and listen to a previous episode. We've been kind of going over some things as far as some hunting tactics over the last little bit, some new ways of looking at things to do while you're hunting. But I guess we'll just kind of keep that short to the point and go check out other stuff. And we'll move on to today's topics.
Yeah. Do you want to go ahead and?
I'll start off by talking about the truck.
Yeah. Let's go there. So, let me do it. Let me do it like this.
Okay.
Let me formally do it like this. Hey Joe, how's your truck situation going?
Oh, I don't want to talk about it. Thanks for bringing it up, Eric.
Well, moving on.
So if you've been listening, I've been working on my truck pretty much this whole summer. Had a blown head gasket. Took the top half of the engine apart and replaced a bunch of parts and put it all back together. Took me a month and a half, 2 months to do it. And I went to start it up last weekend or the weekend before, and it just turns over. Doesn't fire. And I don't think I'm getting fuel to my injectors. So I think I have a vacuum problem somewhere, and I just have not wanted to deal with it.
Yeah, just kind of doing a sanity pause.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because this whole thing, I've talked before. It's been waiting on parts. I started off and I was just going to do the head gasket. I was, that's all I need to do. That's all it needs, what it needs to run. Nothing else is broken. And so I got into it, realized that the Triton motor has some issues that they say parts need to be replaced. So I was like, I'm this deep into it. I'm going to replace parts. And so, once I made that decision, and it wasn't like, I felt like every time I was going to work on something, it was like, oh, I need these parts. So now I made a decision, and it wasn't like I made the decision before I started taking it apart so I can get parts coming. I was making those decisions when I was getting ready to put stuff back together. So then I had to wait for parts, and
right.
And we're not a Amazon Prime 1 day, 2 day delivery.
It's still not used to that one yet, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Takes a little longer for it to get over here.
It does. And yeah. And even with parts, some of them I ordered from the local auto parts store, and it still took some of them a week to get here.
That's not fun whenever that happens.
No.
Especially from parts store.
Yeah. But like you said, I had to take a sanity break, and I may or may not get to it before the hunt starts, but
it's all right.
At least it's put back together. That will say that was my goal. Was when I committed myself to doing this, I was scared that I wouldn't put it back together. It'd be torn apart for a year, and I'd be well, I don't know where all these parts go. And then they'd end up going to the junkyard or giving it away to someone that would work on it.
Right.
So that's kind of why I was no, I got to work on my truck. Because I wanted to at least get it all put back together.
It's taking up a lot of your time though, huh?
Yeah.
This summer, because the summer's kind of just flowing by. I know there's a lot of stuff that I wanted to get to this summer and do. And obviously haven't got there. And you've been working on that thing since March or something like that,
February, March.
and March.
Well, no, it was. I was just trying to think. When was because the end of the turkey season is when I've really started going
that
into
was,
April.
Yeah, I want to say April.
I think it was April was when I really started diving into it because as I've been taking pictures of stuff to help remind me of where stuff goes, and so it goes like me and you turkey hunting to the truck meet starting to be torn apart.
That's funny. That's funny. Well, hopefully you get that figured out soon. Thought about heading over there one afternoon and just be like, all right, let's see what we can find. You know, maybe like having some fresh eyes on it or something, could see something that,
right,
you know, that you're not seeing or whatnot.
Right. I need to go over like all the little plugs and make sure everything's plugged in because like I'm sure something's just not plugged in correct. You know.
Right.
But
that can be frustrating, especially whenever you don't do it every day. And,
right.
You know. I mean,
I kind of.
This is the deepest you've ever been in a motor, right?
Correct. Yeah. Like I try not to claim to be a mechanic when people are like, hey, you know how to work on cars? Yeah, I know. I can get around, but you know, like when this happens, I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely not a mechanic.
Yeah. It really humbles you pretty quick. Huh? You're like, I guess there's more to this stuff than just tightening up a bolt and nut.
Right. Yeah, I know how to operate a ratchet.
Yeah, exactly. Well, hopefully here soon that stuff all starts panning out and you get that running. Speaking of getting things going before the hunt and everything, what about gearing up? Well, to elaborate, I guess, a little bit more, is we have about 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks before September.
Yes.
The opener of elk season for us in Colorado. So.
About that.
Yes.
If I did my math right, today is my 6-month anniversary of being a Colorado resident.
Congratulations!
Thank you.
I should have made a cake.
Right. Where's my cake?
Yeah, next time. Next time.
Okay.
Colorado resident over here. Colorado resident.
I did it. I just dawned on me. I looked down at the date. I was like, the 13th. And I was like, I believe, that was the 13th of when my first official day of work was. I can claim as for residents
okay.
my tags. So Monday I can go buy my elk tag.
Oh, nice. Okay.
All my resident stuff.
Nice. That's good.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that's important. That's important news.
Yeah.
Because kind of need you to get that tag and everything.
I need to get that tag.
Yeah. Well, I still do too, actually. I haven't went and got my elk tag yet. But planning on doing the elk hunt, well, in September. Opener day is the 3rd of September. And so we're, I didn't draw anything. And so we're both just going to do over-the-counter public land.
Right.
Elk hunt for Colorado, which should be fun. I mean, we do it every year, but yeah, speaking of that though, like right now is a good time. I've been known in the past to not do it with everything going on or whatever, to where I don't gear up necessarily or have everything ready, but this time, just so I kind of know where everything is, refresh, put what I need in my totes or whatever to try to help make everything a little bit faster on getting loaded up and getting out to the woods.
Right.
Go through all my gear and everything. For you, is there anything special that you want to do to make sure that you have for this season for the archery hunt?
You're talking like just gear? I don't think so. Like, because I got thinking of what was needed and what may be needed. As far as gear goes, I'm ready. I don't think I need anything. Well, I purchased a new spotting scope. Now that a Vortex Diamondback, kind of cool.
Yeah. I haven't even seen it yet.
No,
you haven't even showed me.
Yeah,
he's been stingy with his equipment.
Yeah, I don't. I don't like other people looking at it.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I haven't really spent much time with it. But I think my thing this year is I say food, but like I kind of want to just, I don't know if dial in's the right word, but make sure that like I'm not taking excess food with me, or I got food that does good as far as
keeps you going, keeps
right,
you moving.
Right.
That's not a bad goal to have.
Because as far as gear goes, sleeping bags, tents, that type of thing, I feel like I'm ready. Like I'm ready that way for the hunt.
Right. I actually feel like I need to upgrade my tent, my tent, my sleeping bag rather.
Like, oh, you got a nice tent. You're gonna upgrade that.
Yeah.
You're gonna throw that one away. Let me know.
Yeah, no, wrong choice of words. No, I need to upgrade my sleeping bag. I have this old. Well, for the archery hunt, most of the time I just grab a pile of blankets. But for a lot of years, I have this big old sleeping bag that I've had for years. And it does the trick, kind of help. I mean, it definitely keeps me warm and everything, but it's just too big and bulky. I kind of, over the last 3 to 4 years, I've been trying to kind of consolidate my hunting gear, if you will.
Okay.
So instead of having all this big bulky stuff, try to upgrade it to more smaller, sleek
Gotcha.
stuff. So that's something that I'd like to do. I don't know if I will do it this year as far as the sleeping bag goes, but that one's kind of hard. You talked about this a long time ago, and I got to thinking about it. Me and you are kind of broad-shouldered guys, if you will, and there's those mommy bags that you can, shrink them into a fist size,
Right.
and there's an appeal there because they're nice and small and easy to just throw in and not take up a bunch of space.
Yeah.
But those mummy bags, they just are a little uncomfortable to sleep in.
Well, I gotta be able to move my feet. Like I hate when I go to like roll over or do something and like my feet can't separate. Like,
right. Yeah. And then I'm a side sleeper too, so that makes it hard. So yeah, it's so I'll probably just get like a regular. So I might have to have something a little more of size. I'm sure they have something that breaks down. I haven't really looked at it too much. I'm kind of getting lost on sleeping bags whenever I really haven't planned on upgrading it quite yet. But I do need to do that. But gearing up, like one thing I want to do is just go through my stuff here probably either this weekend or in the next few weekends before I go out to the hunt, even set up my tent, do the whole thing, and just try to figure out where I'm at with everything and make sure that I don't have any loose ends and then that way whenever it's go time, takes me 5 minutes to throw everything in the truck and I'm ready to go. So I guess that kind of sums it up on the gearing up thing, but that's one of my plans, or one of my hot tips
is pull everything together before the season starts.
Yeah, instead of trying to do it all the night before
and then getting mad at everybody.
Exactly,
it's your fault. You're blaming everybody else.
But yeah, I'm usually pretty good at that actually. Part of getting ready for hunt season, are you feeling pretty good with your bow?
I'm feeling a lot better with the bow, yeah.
I've been definitely the last couple weekends. So Joe and I, we've been getting together at least once a week just for the last few weekends, but we've been going out and shooting our bow a lot more. And ever since I made that adjustment, I brought it up in last podcast, but ever since I made that adjustment on my bow with the sight, I've been feeling way better. I mean, I've been more comfortable with my bow rather. So the only thing that we got to work on now is just doing some distance shots and seeing where we're at there.
Yeah.
But other than that, though, I mean, I feel
20 yards, it's dead.
Yeah, 20 yards, it's a goner for sure. But anything further than that, I don't know. Hopefully it's a goner.
As we say 2 weeks before the season starts.
I know, probably not the best. But, man, just so much has been going on. And, I mean, we thought that we were going to, with your truck and everything, like we thought that we were going to be hanging out and shooting bows all the time and getting dialed in, and just that's part of the struggling hunters. That's what we always say about struggling hunters is it's not just the struggles of hunting itself, it's the struggles of trying to become a better hunter, but then dealing with all the personal life stuff, and that's kind of the concept behind the struggling hunters, is just trying to manage everything the best you can.
Because we want struggling hunters to be successful, but we want our outside of struggling hunters be successful, our personal lives too.
For sure. And I know, if this ever grows to whatever point that it is that we could do this more full time or whatnot. I mean, I think the goal now is just to have it grow to a point where we can get some extra, or we can help pay for some of our hunting ventures, adventures. But, if we ever did do it full time, it'd be a lot easier to kind of dial all that in. But we're just kind of regular guys trying to document what we're doing, how we're learning everything, and document our struggle on trying to become better hunters. And I mean, that's I don't know. That's kind of all I got for that, I guess.
Well, we talk about growing the channel, and I think we kind of brought it up last time too, but one of the things that we've recently incorporated into the struggling hunters was trying to do some shorts and dad jokes with those shorts. Yeah, man, that's kind of new.
Yeah, I've been having so much fun with that, and I mean the shorts have just been a blast, and they've really well. Actually, we have another big announcement that we kind of went over our head before we started this podcast. Is you guys are hearing it first. Some of the OGs or whatever, you need to give us a thumbs up on this video, because we finally hit over 100 subs.
Oh yeah, yeah, we did.
And police are coming.
They are. Police escort.
I'm so sick. Ambulances are trying to pull me over.
This guy. How long you been saving that one?
A while.
I didn't even realize you're doing a joke until you're halfway through it. I was like, oh, he's trying to be funny.
I ain't trying.
So full of himself.
Yeah. Sometimes. Then I get humbled. Hunting season usually humbles me for the rest of the year.
Oh shoot! Yeah, if I don't know if it came through on the through the mics, but there was some sirens going off in the background, and Eric used that opportunity to tell a joke.
I do that a lot. But going back to the shorts and the whole thing with the just our channel growth, I mean, we're trying to get better at it, and we were talking about that too, is just taking it a little more serious, having fun, but taking it serious, if you will, because it's fun to grow, and it's fun, but you gotta. Now we got planes overhead.
Excuse me, I feel better.
Yeah. Oh, now you got the jokes. It's funny. Well, I don't even know if the mics will pick that up, but it's funny whenever you hit record and you're like, all right, just everything be quiet. Then the neighbor starts the lawnmower, and then there's planes up above, then sirens are going, and you're like, where were you guys a half hour ago? So,
right. Everyone just decided to wake up.
Yeah, that's what it is, I guess. Same time we did. Same time we decided to hit record. But where was I at? The shorts.
Talking about the shorts. 100 subs.
Yeah.
Growing.
Oh yeah. So we hit 100 subs, which is awesome. Thanks everybody for giving us support. I guess on the short side, if you're coming over and seeing what we're doing, just appreciate the support on the shorts. I mean, I think most of our growth is because of the shorts, and because of that, coming over and checking out our podcast, just thank you guys so much for the support that you guys are doing. I mean, at the end of the day, we're just, we kind of said it before, but this stuff is so new to us. And I don't know. I've been thinking about that. I don't know how I'm trying to put this out, I guess, but I've been thinking about that, like how these younger kids today, like this stuff is like nothing to them, but like for us, it's kind of a big deal. We're like, oh man, can't believe we got 7K on shorts or whatever it is, and
right.
The younger generation, they're probably like, that's it. But for us, we're like, man, that's a big deal, and
Yes.
I mean, we've kind of grown up with YouTube. Well, no, we were in our adulthood whenever YouTube was around, but we were there from the start, I guess, to a sense or whatever. And
when it was funny cat videos.
When it was funny, yeah, exactly. And now, like, as years have went by and time has went on, like, I don't know, it's just weird, like the transition of it. We went on with our lives, our work lives, and like, oh, whatever, and then like all of a sudden we're like, we get the brainiac idea, hey, let's do a podcast and do some hunting videos. And then not too long ago, we were like, hey, let's do these 15 seconds and or less.
Right.
Really. But let's do some shorts and go from there. And I don't know, it's just it's just been a weird transition to figure out. And but it's been fun at the same time. Like, I've had such a good time doing it, and just
right.
It's so humbling whenever you see a video that does 7K or something. And you're like, what, really? Like, you can't even wrap that around your head,
Yes.
And I'm sure as time goes on, like, there'll be more than that, but it's just one of those things that hard to wrap around your head.
Right, especially when you're just growing or we'd never done this before or gone this deep into it, I guess is what you can say. We've, fooled around with all the social media platforms and stuff in the past, but actually kind of dive down and trying to understand things a little bit more and seeing how that all works that's all new.
Yeah.
It's been kind of fun.
Do you ever feel weird kind of putting yourself out there?
Yeah, it is a little weird.
Yeah, I feel that too. Like, and then I just think like, I don't know. There's something humbling about, like, we think about ourselves more than other people think about us. So they, they see our short or whatever, and
right.
I mean, that's about as much thought as they put into us. So I mean, I guess that kind of makes me feel a little bit better, but I get a little self-conscious about everything. Like, it's hard to put out content sometimes, even though we've been doing it a while. Just even doing something new like the shorts, it's hard to.
It's different.
It's a little different.
Creating a new habit.
Yeah, exactly. Creating a new habit. And man, that's been the weirdest thing with the shorts and all this is just, well, we've done pretty good with the podcast. We've always met up once a week and got together. And I'd say the hardest thing is always coming up with a topic, but then we get flowing like this and then you can't get us to shut up.
Correct.
Well, speaking of shutting up, though, is there anything else that you'd like to bring up?
No. Well, I always say no, then I'll come up with a thought, right? That's typical Joe.
That's the MO.
I guess what I mean is, like, no, there's no really topics that like I feel like we need to go down any rabbit holes on too. But just like kind of just a recap of what talking about dialing in the bow and gearing up and hunting season's coming and like it takes forever. It takes once the season's over, it takes all year for it to come back around. And it feels like it's never going to get here. Now it's finally here, and we're more ahead of the game, I think, this year than we have been in the past. I feel like we're finally settling into maybe understanding more of what type of an area we're looking for to hunt, better comprehension of a plan, and getting our bows dialed in and getting gear set up, like a little earlier. And I hope you don't just talk about getting your gear. I hope you actually do get your gear.
Yeah. Well, I'm planning on, like I said, doing it real soon. Just pulling everything out, setting my tent up, and
And I just say that just because, like, just so that way you're ready.
Been there and done that where we're like, yeah, gonna get it all put out and then don't touch it. Yeah.
I know night before, like
till
we
the
said.
night before.
Yeah.
Yep.
But anyways, I guess what I'm trying to get to is, like being prepared for this season. We're more prepared than we have been in the past, not as probably as prepared as we could be. But we're trying and we're learning.
Yeah.
And that's all I have. That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah. Well, I want to go off of what you said and the whole idea of when hunt season's over and then there's a whole year before it starts again. You're like, I'm going to do this, and this, and this. And then you try that and then it doesn't happen. It doesn't, or like time flies by so fast. Then you're like, oh man, there's only 2 weeks before hunt season and I haven't done anything that I told myself I was going to do. I think it's a yearly struggle, especially for people that have families and full-time jobs and everything else. It's always something, but you just do your best and forget the rest. That's definitely a quote I've said before, but I go by it. I live by that quote. So I think that's what we're going to do this year. And it's funny because we got like 2.5-3 weeks before hunt season and I feel so unprepared. I'm like, oh man, I'm stressed out, but I am feeling good with the bow. I wish that we would have spent a little more time. And I know we got a couple weeks to really start dialing in the reps and everything, but I wish that we would have spent some more time doing shooting the bow and getting it dialed in for the year. So that would be out of the question right now. But with that, I mean, I'm okay with where I'm at with the bow. I mean, might have to try to reel anything in a little bit closer than I originally wanted to. I wanted to by this time be hitting 70 yarders and feeling comfortable with it, and we're not quite there. But but yeah. So my final thought before we get out of here is to just get those reps in right now. It's the time of year to get those reps in with the bow, and you don't want to make a bad shot and injure an elk or a deer. Some people are going to be deer hunting this archery season, so you don't want to do any of those two things. So, or you don't want to injure any of those two animals, I guess. But anyways, guys, with that said, I'll go ahead and get out of here. I feel like I'm kind of rambling on, just trying to make content. So, anything else, or did you clear it up?
I'm good.
Okay. Guys, thanks for watching another week of the podcast. It's episode 121. Be sure to give us a like and subscribe to us if this is the first time that you're hearing us, and go over to our podcast platform and give us a listen over there. It's great. The podcast platform, I think, is pretty great for whenever you're traveling to work on a daily basis or whatever, and you want want something to listen to pass the time. So go over there and check those platforms out. Just find us at The Struggling Hunters. And with that said, guys, we'll see you next week in the next one. We're out of here.
See ya.